Ontario has some of the highest car insurance rates in the country, but for the first time in a long time, premiums are actually coming down, according to a rates.ca report from January. The city of Brampton has long held the top spot as the most expensive city in Ontario to insure a car, but it recently saw the largest decline in premiums. Still, the city sits in the top 5 of the most expensive cities to insure a car in the province. Ahead of the June election, the Ontario NDP aimed to end the practice of charging drivers in specific neighborhoods higher rates, regardless of their driving record, known as postal code discrimination. NDP MPP for Brampton East, Gurratan Singh, is here to talk about ending this practice. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh, for joining us here. Thanks, Gurratan, for being here. This is something that has long frustrated drivers. It's a long-standing complaint of drivers here in the GTA. In saying that, though, why has it taken so long for your bill or past bills to come to fruition? This is not the first time you have brought a bill like this forward.
Exactly. So just to reiterate your point, in Brampton and in many communities across Ontario, in Scarborough, Northwest Toronto, people are paying some of the highest car insurance rates in the country. And it's people who have never been in an accident, never had a driving or speeding ticket or any sort of provincial driving offense. They drive very affordable cars, but they're being charged higher rates purely based on where they live. It's unfair, it's wrong, and it's postal code discrimination. We've seen Doug Ford, since the beginning of his mandate of being elected, he's been allowing car insurance rates to go up. And we in the NDP were saying enough is enough. We need to bring rates down and make life more affordable.
Yeah, so why do you think this hasn't been successful before? In terms of back in 2018, if I recall, had a bill similar to the PCs. There have been at least 2 PC MPPs that I'm aware of who have tried to bring this forward. This is, of course, a popular issue. It frustrates drivers in the GTA, particularly in Brampton, where you were an MPP. Why hasn't it been successful before? And will it now? I mean, will you have the support?
Honestly, we've seen a really clear track record from Doug Ford. Basically, whatever his insider friends and buddies want, he does. And we've seen that with car insurance. He has not had the courage to stand up for drivers across Ontario. And instead, he allows these billion-dollar car insurance companies who are making record profits to keep on increasing the rates. It's wrong, and that's why we're putting this bill forward. And what we're demanding from the Conservative government is not just that they pass this bill, but we immediately see rates come down, because we're seeing communities like Brampton being discriminated. It's wrong, and people are really struggling to get by. They need a break, and we in the NDP are fighting to give them that break. Yeah, it's tough. I believe we can put up a top 10 list here. So Brampton, of course, has long been at the top of the list in terms of the top 10 highest premiums. Vaughan is now in top spot, followed by Ajax, Richmond Hill, Brampton, and Mississauga. Toronto's number 7. This is from rates.ca, and this is, or I should say Rate Hub, I believe. This is a rate estimates are based on a 35-year-old driver of a 2018 Honda Civic with a clean driving record. So if you're that person in Vaughan, you're paying in 2021 about $2,100 in your premium with a clean driving record. So Gurratan, the PCs, of course, have a majority. We're coming up to an election. How likely is it that this bill will come to fruition and will be successful before the House rises and breaks in May? Or is this something that's likely to be deferred? Oh, I think the reality is we've seen Doug Ford's track record over the past 4 years. Every single year he's allowed rates to go up, including during the heights of the pandemic when we know that there were so few cars on the road. You probably remember that time when you could drive from Brampton to Toronto in 30 minutes at 9 a.m. when there was no traffic on the roads. Despite there being no traffic, and we know that equals huge savings to these billion-dollar car insurance companies, Doug Ford still allowed rates to go up. So what we're saying is that it's not enough for him to simply say nice words and say rates need to come down. We need to see a concrete drop in rates based on postal code. That means folks who have no accidents, drive very affordable cars, have never had a speeding ticket, those folks shouldn't be charged more based on where they live. It shouldn't be a punishment to live in Brampton or Scarborough or Northwest Toronto. People should be paying rates based on their driving record, not based on where they live.
Yeah, so Gurratan, I'm still unclear as to how you'll make this happen and if it will happen based on the PC majority before May. Or is this something that's likely just going to come up again in the autumn as it has in the past? So the question is, do you have the support to make this bill successful?
Frankly, I don't think the Conservative government is going to have any traction on this bill based on their past track record, because like I said, it's not enough for them to even just, it's not enough for them to just pass a bill. We need to see rates come down. And based on the track record of this Conservative government, we've seen time and again them continually side with their buddies in the insurance industry as opposed to siding with Ontarians. So listen, my job is to fight. I'm here to fight for people across Ontario who are being discriminated and being charged higher rates based on where they live. I'm going to continue to fight. Am I hopeful that Doug Ford's going to pass this bill? Based on his track record, I'm not holding my breath. Okay, it had some PC support before, and I guess for those of you watching at home, this will be, once again, an election issue. Thank you so much, MPP for Brampton East Gurratan Singh. We appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much for giving attention to this really important issue that really is, people are struggling with affordability right now. They need a break. Let's give them a break with their auto insurance. Yeah, it's true. It's a big issue, particularly here in the province. Thank you so much, Gurratan. Thank you.